My friends used to show off the tats. Now they talk about filling their bank vaults. Mellow is the new fad. Your life is fucked.
I'm Destroyx from Angelspit.
And I'm Zoog.
We're in Tempe, Arizona.
And it's hot and awesome. So we've just done this CD called Hideous and Perfect.
And it came out on the 9th, the 8th of September.
And it's really fucked up.
On Metropolis Records, it's just the same record label as COMA, and we're on tour with COMA, and we just finished our show, and it was really good.
And the new album is, we tried to get back to the roots of industrial music. We've made a whole bunch of instruments, like from junk we found in the back streets, and strung them together and recorded them, and we've used things like salad bowls as resonators, and mic'd it all up and had heaps of fun designing instruments and smashing things, smashing a lot of things for percussion, building crazy sounds with, we've even built electronic musical instruments as well as the modular synth we always use, and it's big and thumpy, very fucking thumpy. And the CD, Hideous and Perfect, is actually 3 different versions.
American version, an Australian and European one, and a Japanese version. And yeah.
And each of them have different artwork. The Japanese one's got a different cover.
Yeah, so
it's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, it's good. I think it's our best release to date. Even if people don't think that.
Yeah, they can suck my cock. It's the best shit to date. So with this release, there's so many things that we've wanted to, where we feel that some parts of music ourselves, a lot of shit went missing. We've tried to rekindle that, and that's why we've put a lot more effort into the synthesizers we're using, because a lot of our music you can't really play on a conventional keyboard or a conventional, device, because there's a lot of slides and stuff. So we've designed these synths that will allow us to modulate incoming sources and also to throw a lot of stuff around and be as chaotic as possible. Because when you're working with the constraints of a laptop, it's really hard to really cut loose and to cut sick, basically. So hence we incorporated the amazing abilities and knowledge of a guy named Steve Jones from Australia, and he fixes analog synths for a living. And he also works with bands like In Excess and Jimmy Barnes and Kylie Minogue and all these other acts, and he tours the world with these guys to keep them on the road and fixing their synths. So with the help of Steve, we've developed these synths that we're wanting to push music somewhere new, and it's hard to do that when you can go to a music shop and just buy the latest Korg blah blah blah, although we do use a Korg blah blah blah. We're getting into more modular synths because they allow you to really destroy and hurt sound, and there's a brand from Germany that we love called Dopefer. And it's modular synths, it's pure analog, and it's quite cheap. It's affordable. And we can go into the sound and pull it apart and throw it all around the place, and that's exciting, cool fun. Like when you're making music live and there's no script, or then there's a bit of a script with the laptop, but because we've got a whole bunch of tracks coming out of the laptop and they're all being routed all over the place, some to the vocoder, some to the filters, whatever, you can really glitch it up. And we've had that ethos as well before, like we were doing what they used to do in the 80s and go out and build a drum kit out of rubbish, and we've built stringed instruments out of all sorts of stuff. It's a really good time, I think, for young musicians everywhere to also embrace this punk aesthetic, that if you can't afford this huge thing, go out and build it. I can't play guitar. I don't know anything about guitar. We have a guy named Graham Charles Kent from a band called The Grand Fatal, and this guy's a fucking punk rock star in Australia. He's like the best motherfucking guitarist you've heard, and he's a monster. He does our guitars, and he's frightfully good at it. But my advantage is because I don't know anything about guitars, I don't know about tension, I don't care about that stuff. We can make instruments and electronic instruments and stringed instruments, and if the strings break or they go out of tune or the electronic instruments burst into flames, which they do because I'm so terrible at electronics, they make cool sounds when they're bursting into flames, and we're recording all that stuff. There's a track on the new album, As It Is in Heaven, where one of our synths died and we recorded it, the whole track. And then we used that to modulate all this other stuff, and we put the tracks in there, and it produced the most creepy hum. And accidents like that, you can't really sit down at your laptop and go, I'm going to do all this stuff. It's like throwing caution to the wind and getting back to the whole aesthetic of music is about happy mistakes. And it's about catching the shit that life throws at you and making it into something cool. So young musicians everywhere, I say, go to the streets and fucking DIY. That's what I say. So, viva la revolution. The tour is going fucking awesome. KMFDM are spastic to play with. They're crazy. They're really, really crazy. Great people. They're extremely
supportive.
Yeah, very, very supportive.
But
very wise.
And
the crew
they
too.
like to party.
They like to party hard.
Learning how to do things
with not much sleep and hungover. Although KMFDM themselves don't party much, it's the crew who go fucking nuts.
No, the band do.
Yeah, the band do. KMFDM there are so many bands that those guys have, like we just got off tour with the Legion Within with KMFDM, and you know, we've all throughout the tour we've been meeting up with bands who have toured with them, and they're out the back, and KMFDM are still helping them out with remixes and advice, and you know, it's an honor for us to be a part of this massive family where it's there are so many bands. Like even tonight we met the guys from Hardwire finally, and they're motherfuckers. I love what those guys do, and you know, we're all in this together, and there are so many new bands. Like we were up in Boston and there were these two guys and they loved EBM and ska, and they said, we want to do an EBM band. And I said, fuck that, you know, there's enough EBM bands around. You like ska, do cyber ska. And like by the end of this conversation, you know, we'd figured out on how you can really easily pull the whole ethos of, and they turned up there and they were wearing green and crazy suits and they had their quiff, you know, and I said, why EBM, man? Fuck up with ska, like get some old samplers and fucking go AWOL on your guitars and stuff, and do something new and crazy. Don't worry that everyone in the clubs is listening to XYZ. Who gives a shit? Fucking, you know, it's the crazy ideas that, you know, they're the ones that last. So, yeah, I just say cut loose. With your hair, with your art, with your music, with everything you do. Except falling down cliffs. All right. Dangerous.